Hi, we're Graves, and you're watching Arise. I gotta do like that.
We're hanging out with Graves. Now, you guys, one thing I always liked about you guys don't shy away from calling yourselves an emo band, which a lot of bands usually don't like labels. If you talk to any band, I guess they don't want to be confined to one sort of label. But why is it that you guys stick so hard to the emo title?
I feel like in every scene and in every place, like no matter who you are, you have been sad before, and if not, you need help. But I feel like it's really important in especially the heavy scene and the heavy like hardcore adjacent scene. I think it's very important to have like emotional music in general. It's a really necessary outlet for a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of people shy away from trying to be like vulnerable and like really show themselves and like just really like put it all out there for everyone to see and like open yourself up. But there's I think it's so important to be able to do it. It's like a form of like therapy to even just watch a band like spit their like all of their emotions and all of their thoughts and like their deepest, darkest, most like inner sadness that like no one ever shows. I think it's so important to like let that out and like support everyone and just be able to like perceive that like when you're watching a band. And it's very nice to be able to have that outlet even for ourselves, like putting it out there for everyone else to like hopefully relate to it, like feel it, like it. Like even if you don't care what I'm saying, what we're playing, like you still know we're just trying to keep it real and like really push in and really push out like everything that like irks us. So I think it's just really important for every scene to have.
Do you guys all consider yourselves emo fans? Like, how do you guys define emo?
I don't know. Real emo consists only of the 90s emotional DC hardcore and adjacent. No, honestly, I feel like, well, I don't know if I'm the best to answer this question, but I love emo. I mean, I've always liked emo music. I was one of those like middle schoolers with the like, you know, the thing. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I've always liked emo music. It's always like really spoken to me, especially like as Amy was just saying, like it's very a pretty common thing to be sad. So I don't know, like at least for me, like a lot of the music that we write here and we make here feels like a very like emotional release to like a lot of things that are very upsetting to me. So I don't know. I think emo music to me means like kind of like really making shit that that like means something to you, and like you can really pour out like who you are into it, and hopefully other people can kind of gain some kind of connection out of that, or like some kind of like feeling of, you know, they're not alone. That's what it is to me, at least.
Yeah, it's definitely about like vulnerability. I'd say like I definitely pour everything into my playing at all times, but in this setting it just feels, you know, like really cathartic, and I think that's the most important thing, for it to just feel like a weight off your chest like after every set. I grew up also as a middle schooler with Fringe. I listened to a lot of like Run for Cover bands from that time. I love emo music.
I mean, Ian MacKaye said it best when he was playing Fugazi and they were calling them emo core or whatever. All music is emotional. All music should have emotions. So like, if they're gonna call us emo, like yeah, we talk about our emotions, we scream about our emotions, and that's basically it, you know.
Alright, so you guys all play in different bands. I mean, how is it that you guys, when it comes to writing, how do you guys differentiate what songs are gonna go towards which projects?
I am in the least amount of bands, and no? Oh, you're in the. I'm in 3 now. Yeah, Frankie's in the least amount of bands. I am now in 3 bands. But yeah, like Graves was my main thing for a long time. I'm the one that like started it. I've had that like name, I guess, since like I was like 14. And I've been doing it for a while. So for me, it's the easiest to differentiate, just because like it mostly like stems from myself, especially as like the vocalist or whatever. I have like more like I'm more, I guess, like instant. Like every song that I write is almost a Grave song all the time. So for me, I kind of have to like get in the zone for like different stuff. I have a band called Hazel, and we do mostly like it's emo, I guess, but it's like more like 90s, like kind of like rock. So I really have to like, I try to like listen to music that's like that, and like try to get in the zone for that. But it's honestly not too hard. It's just like it all comes from different places, and the way I see music, I don't see it as like a thing I can do or a thing I need to do. Like it's a thing I need to do, but not physically. So like for me, it's like there's different parts of my brain for different types of music, and I feel like I could really like just there's different places of myself that I could pour out into like different types of music and different genres and stuff. But that's mostly how I differentiate it. I just like I have to go through the emotions of each like genre.
It's definitely a matter of just like finding different like compartments for everything, and just figuring out like how can you pour your own style into different bands, or like what's going on in the room right now, like what can I listen to and what can I like play off of really, and what like serves the song the best kind of thing.
I mean, I think for me, like I have kind of like 2 different roles in the bands that I'm in. So like in this band, I'm playing like a very different role as opposed to like what I do in my other band. But like here, I feel like I'm able to add on to like the things that Amy's already established, guitar wise, and kind of express myself in a different way. Although I do think that like no matter what, like I have like a certain voice and certain things that sound good to my ear. And I feel like those things like still carry across kind of like no matter what sort of setting that I'm playing in. Like we played some songs today, and some of my other bandmates came up and they're like, I can tell you wrote that one.
Yeah, I mean, with the newer stuff, I want to try to contribute more, like guitar, like even just writing guitar riffs and then maybe just like sharing them around. But like it's pretty cool. I like being in Graves because like I play mostly in like punk bands and stuff. So it's like, I get to like play not just a root. So I try to be creative in that sense.
In regards to like lyrical themes, what would you say is like a consistent theme throughout the record? Do you consider it a concept album?
Somewhat. Like the way I write lyrics, especially, it's just like it's very like you wouldn't get it like if you're not me. I kind of wrote them very vaguely and very broad, but they all mean something to me very specific that it's like completely opposite of what I'm talking about almost. But yeah, most of the lyrics do have a theme. I when I write, I do like get the general sense of what I'm feeling. I really earlier when I wrote that, like all the lyrics for the record, I was like in a place where I thought like I didn't really want to like put too much, like be too specific, so people can really like listen to it and interpret it for themselves. So really the theme for me mostly was just like it's just a lot of self-loathing, a lot of self-pity, and that's just kind of like what I was feeling at the moment when I was writing those songs, and I just felt like that was really all I had to put in for it. That's like mostly the theme, and that's why I really picked the Evangelion sample, because that's like it really stood out to me how that's the entire series and like 2 movies. It's just self-pity and self-loathing, and I really resonated with that. So that's just mostly what it means for me, at least. Everyone can interpret it however they want, and everyone can feel however they want to feel about it.
what animes would you recommend for someone like me who does not watch any anime?
If you're into like psychological anime, Neon Genesis Evangelion, that's where the sample is from. I would hard recommend that. Serial Experiments Lane. It's very visually pleasing. It's kind of booty, but it's good. But obviously my favorites are Naruto. That's the GOAT. I grew up with Naruto. That like the reason I am who I am is because of Naruto. Naruto, that is the fucking GOAT. Love him. Itachi, the GOAT. I would recommend Demon Slayer is really good right now. I really like Parasite. That was a good one growing up. You have more strong opinions about anime.
Watch Space Dandy. Watch Cowboy Bebop. Watch fucking Bochi the Rock. It's super good. Watch Oron High School Host Club. Goated. Fruit Basket. By the guy who made Evangelion worked on that. So watch that. And don't watch anime actually. Just don't.
Because listening to it, it feels very live friendly. All the songs sort of flow into each other. Was that a conscious decision?
It was 100% conscious. I took influence from the Title Fight Shed VHS documentary that they made about recording Shed. They all recorded how we did. We recorded drums and bass live, and the guitars were live as well with scratch tracks, so we overdubbed the guitars, and vocals obviously we did in its own session. But I feel like the only way we're ever going to record, we have to record live. We are not a click band. We're not like track to track. I feel like, especially with this type of music, it's so important to capture the emotions and the feeling of us feeding off of each other that like we're never going to box one another in a room. Like we have to all be in the room like doing our most.
Before we go, do you guys have any recs? It could be music, other bands you're feeling, movies.
Right now I'm reading Berserk. It's very good. I just finished reading Dead Man Wonderland. Also very good. But music, I'm really happy to say my favorite bands at the moment are my friends. So shout out all my homies in Versus Self. Shout out my homies in Numb Ears, Widow Dusk, Versera. Shout out everyone we met on tour. We love everyone. Those are all my favorite bands right now. You guys are amazing. Shout out Old from New York, the GOATs. Shout out Screamo Money. I love Screamo. Best music, best genre. Yes.
Oh, hello. I agree with all of that. I want to add some more friends. Shout out Shortstop. Shout out Bonus. Oh yeah, Novelly. Shout out Novelly. Novelly the GOATs. Shout out Burial Etiquette. Shout out Piri Race from Malaysia. I feel like Screamo outside of the US and stuff doesn't get that much attention usually. So I feel like we should be listening to what the rest of the world has to offer, you know? That shit's crazy.
I'm actually doing a Nirvana deep dive that I'm way overdue for. And it's great. I love Dave Grohl. Yeah.
Rock and Grohl, man.
Dime up to come up. Dime is coming up. You better hear. By day.